The CW Twin Cities presents See What's Now, your entertainment news source.
Hey everybody, John Foss, CW Twin Cities, and I am very excited to talk with Jeannette Walls, who is the author of The Glass Castle, which is being made into a film and will be in theaters on August 11th. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So first of all, we are at the Library Lounge at Mercy Bar and Dining Room. Isn't this like the best
This is pretty great.
setup ever?
Yeah, it really is. Very elegant.
So tell the viewers at home what this film is about for people that might not have heard of it yet.
It's about my family, and I had one of those families that people point at and say, why don't those parents take care of those kids? We were shabby, we were rough, we slept in cars, sometimes we'd get a house and would run without paying the rent. But through all that chaos, Dad said that one of these days we would have a nice place to live. One of these days he was going to build us a fabulous glass mansion out in the desert, and he called it the Glass Castle.
And I guess, and it's based on a true story.
Yes.
I guess one of the first questions for me, and I think a lot of viewers, when you see based on a true story at the beginning of the film, how much of the film is actually true?
The film is astonishingly accurate. You know, I wrote the book 12 years ago, rather it was published 12 years ago, and I was really, a lot of filmmakers looked at it and wanted to change it and Hollywoodize it. And Destin Daniel Cretton, who's not only the director, but one of the co-writers of it, he was passionate about authenticity. He collapsed a few scenes, he telescoped them, and there's a couple of characters that he developed a little and expanded on, but that was always done in concert with me. He talked to me at great length about, well, what really happened here? We can discuss this a little bit more. Did anything like this happen? So I was elated about how close it was to true life.
For me as a father, I could totally relate to the father-daughter relationship, so that was great, and I think there's a lot of different people in the story that other people can relate to too, and I just felt like it came off very true to life and just showed the bad things that happen in life, but also good things come out of those. Tell me what you think about the final product.
My wildest dream for the movie is that it makes people think not necessarily about my family, but about their own.
Yeah.
Even if my family is crazier than theirs, they might notice some similarities, or their family might be crazier than mine. But I love what you said about that it captured the good and the bad, because I think that was one of the challenges, certainly it was for me writing the book, that my father was a damaged man. There was much wrong with him. He could be very destructive, but he also could be spectacular and gave me incredible gifts. And how can you have these two almost opposites in the same person, but that's life. And if a filmmaker can capture that, I find that to be a very satisfying experience.
I thought the line that kind of hit home the message of what I took home with the good and the bad of life and people was when your brother said he had his moments.
Yeah.
Because up to that, we saw a lot of the bad things he did. But after he said that, it cut to a lot of things that we hadn't seen in the story yet, like when you went to college and you were having financial issues and he came there and helped pay for that.
Exactly. And for all that he didn't do, he gave me a love of life, a high sense of self-esteem, a love of education, which I think is just so important. It's the great equalizer. But he also gave me the very important lesson of demon hunting. And it's very central to the movie. One time I thought there was a demon under my bed. So he went out to go get it, and it became this sort of game for us, chasing the demons. And for a long time, it took me a long time to understand that I was running from my demon. The thing is, if you run from a demon, it will chase you. And my demon was myself. It was my own past. And Dad gave me the tools and the courage to turn around and confront that. And he was absolutely right. You run from your demon, it will chase you, but if you can confront it, it can't hurt you. And what you got to do is either make friends with your demon or put it to work for you.
Yep. That's cool. And Woody Harrelson, as you mentioned, played your dad.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great. Like, I mean, just the emotions that you're feeling watching the film in the audience.
Yeah, you get this emotional whiplash because he's so good and then he's so bad, but you can't help but love him. And I think it's so great that they got Woody Harrelson because he's got that irresistible character. You know, you just gotta like Woody Harrelson the same way that you had to like my dad, but beyond that, he got Dad in a way that was almost spooky. Just, you know, he was saying things when they went off script. He was saying things that my father had said that I hadn't told him. And I asked him afterwards, how did you do that? How did you know that? And he studied a tape of my father and had conversations with me about Dad. But he said then he stopped studying the tape because he didn't want to impersonate somebody. He wanted to become that person. And I thought he did.
Your father, he was an alcoholic?
Yes.
Tell me about growing up with that.
It was heartbreaking. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. Anybody who's ever loved an addict knows that they will just break your heart, and you get your hopes up, and then they break your heart again. And I tried to fix my father. And I thought that they captured one of those scenes brilliantly in the movie. I don't want to give it too much away, but little Ella Anderson, while she's trying to fix her dad, and she plays the middle Jeannette. It ripped my heart out watching this little kid trying to help her alcoholic dad. And he just couldn't, for all of my father's talk about chasing demons, his demons won. But the number of people who've come to me after this film and said, my father was an alcoholic too. Thank you for addressing it. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of us out there who are wrestling with somebody in this situation, who are in this situation themselves. Right. And what I hope that this film will do is help people confront their own demons.
After, when you guys got older, you guys went to school. How often did your family, were you guys still a tight-knit family when everybody went off to school? Did you guys get together? How often did you see each other?
When we all moved to New York together, but then in 1980, my parents followed us up to New York.
Were you guys happy about that?
I was really unhappy. I wanted for once in my life to just be known for who and what I was. I didn't want to be the daughter of the crazy drunk man or the crazy artist. And you know, Dad moved to New York City, became the town drunk, which is quite the accomplishment. And I literally told him on a couple of occasions, please don't tell anybody related to me. At this time I was going on television, my career had kind of taken off, and I wanted to be the woman without a past, but the past has a funny way of catching up with you.
At one point you see him in a taxi cab.
I did.
Did that actually happen in real life?
It happened in real life. I was going to a fabulous party, and I looked out the window, and there's Mom rooting through the garbage. And I actually ducked in the taxi and asked the driver to take me home. And I got together with my mom a couple of days later. And I said, Ma, what the heck am I supposed to tell people about you? And she said, tell them the truth. And I don't know if she was challenging me or giving me permission, but it was the best advice anybody's ever given me. But then I had to figure out, what is the truth? Was it a tragedy or a comedy or a triumph? And it's kind of all of the above.
Exactly. At the end of the film, you say something that to the viewers at that point might come off very shocking. After your father passes, you say that you're lucky. You feel lucky.
Oh.
Do you still feel that way? And I mean, just through all the stuff you guys went through, tell me about that.
I am the luckiest person in the world. I can't believe where I'm sitting right now talking to you. I think that I was given such astonishing gifts. But I will never take my life for granted. Every time I turn on the shower, I can't believe that there's warm running water. I can go to a grocery store and buy anything I want. But even once I'd accomplished these things, something was missing. Having told my story, because I thought I was protecting myself by not telling anybody, but I was just isolating myself. And now I thought I'd come clean and that everybody would hold me in contempt and ridicule. And people embraced this story. I so underestimated people. Life is beautiful, filled with amazing people. You just got to learn to trust them.
So you were a gossip writer, correct?
I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was on MSNBC talking about celebrities and their secrets. And the hypocrisy did not escape me. The fact that I'm chasing other people's stories while I was hiding my own.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't
yeah,
think of that.
it was.
One last question.
Yes.
Will you build the glass castle?
I think I already have. I think the glass castle was never about the house. I think it was about the hopes and the dreams. That being said, many people have sent me their plans, what they would conceive of. The plans have been long since lost, but students have been designing what they think the glass castle would look like, and I think I actually might go ahead and break ground on it.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow,
I do.
that's amazing.
Life's good.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Love the movie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you. It's been my joy.
The Glass Castle is in theaters August 11th.